Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Unveiled Voices. First, Anifah, do we want to report ourselves?
Please, I don't want to. How do I say? I don't know how to beg.
ah, you will beg, oh, you will like beg.
I'm a strong, stubborn. Yeah, okay, yeah. We missed the last episode. I think it was supposed to episode 8.
Date, yeah.
Yeah, and we could,
We,
for
we
various reasons, we made
unforeseen circumstances.
unforeseen circumstances. We're not able to drop it. So we apologize to you, our fave listeners.
Yeah.
We're here to say we will try not to do it again.
Yeah, and hopefully this episode would compensate for the
I
missed
think
one.
you will. I think
Yeah,
you
it will.
will.
So how was your week? Maybe starting from the week before this week.
Oh my god, what happened the previous week?
Maybe I go first then. So
Yeah.
I think the last episode I mentioned I was traveling. We talked about friendship. I mentioned I was traveling with
Ooh,
a
I
friend.
remember.
Yeah. So I spent 3 days in Poland, 4 days in Poland actually, and it was really good. I visited a city called Wrocław or Wrocław.
First love.
Yeah,
I
the
hope we're not
pronunciation.
murdering the
Yeah,
name.
no,
I
no, no.
told
Actually, the spelling and the pronunciation are entirely different. So,
different.
yeah, so it's Wrocław. So entirely different. You would say Woklo or something, but it's Voslav. That's how they pronounce it. So yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was really good spending time with friends and yeah, catching up and just having that girls time out basically. Then I pierced my nose. If somebody had told me that I would pierce my nose before going on that trip, like coming back to London, I'll come back with a pierced nose, I would have said
You didn't
no.
see it
I
coming.
didn't
It
see it
was
coming.
it just happened.
Yeah. So, but I mean, loving it since I did
Yeah,
it.
I think it really suits you. I'm very
Yeah.
glad.
So yeah, I mean that's another aspire to perspire that embrace change. Change will
Embrace
be
change.
it will be good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the week that followed was absolute chaos. I mean, I
Girl,
it was
girl.
absolute chaos from Monday when I got back to work till Friday. I think Friday was when it started kind of like getting better. Uh,
Mm,
but like yeah, there was just a lot. I can't remember the last time I put in so much longer hours at work like that.
mm.
But Alhamdulillah, I mean, yeah, those are part of the good days and the not so good days. Yeah, so it went by. Looking forward to this week. Yeah, hopefully it's better.
Hopefully it doesn't descend into
Yeah,
chaos like the
yeah.
last.
But yeah, yesterday was also really good. I'll let you see how your week went before we give them the tea of yesterday.
Yeah, so the weekend before, because I don't know if our listeners know, but we try to shoot on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
The Saturday of it, I actually had a really good time. I
Mm.
went to Hastings with
So yeah,
two of my friends, and it
I've
was
marked
not
your face, so all of
you and this are back. We were off to Poland and you were having the time. I didn't talk me with you, so please don't hold my you need to have marked your face back. So yeah, I think that was really good because it's a seaside town, or like it
Mm-hmm.
has a water body next to it. I don't remember what water body it is, but a lot of people were out. It's also not so far from London. I think from Waterloo it's like an hour
Yeah,
15 minutes away, so it was a really good one. And then we hiked up to a particular pathway, like
no.
we could see like the city from up there. And then we just had a lot of conversations, catching up, and
Mm-hmm.
even just advising each other on certain things. One of my highlights of that day was like one of us had brought a praying mat, and
So
she had been determined that whatever happens, I'm going to observe my salah
in
here.
this trip, yeah.
And it's such a big deal because obviously a lot of places you go to here, it's not like there are mosques everywhere, especially when you start to go outside of London, which
Mm-hmm.
Hastings is outside of London. But luckily for us, the place I said we were able to look down from above, there was like a seat next to it and there was like a small space where we were taking photos, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just a thing of, oh, someone has a water bottle here anyway. Let's perform our vision and let's observe as Salah. And I think we did Dhuhr and Asr
Mhm.
there. And for those who don't know, when Muslims travel or go a bit far from home, they're allowed to like shorten the prayer. So
Mhm.
instead of like four rakas, we do two
So
rakas.
each, yeah.
So that also makes things a lot easier. And so, it was just so nice that we could do that. We took some really fire shots as well,
Yeah.
memorable shots. So really enjoyed that day. Sunday we couldn't record for various reasons. I'm not gonna point fingers to anybody here. But on I think my week started out really nice. I remember saying that I went to work, came back, I was feeling like, oh, the two projects I'm working on, I'm going to wrap it up latest Tuesday, and I was done. I was done. And I even journaled, which is something I'd not done in like a long time.
Mhm.
I journaled. There's this feature on Notion where you can actually just dictate stuff, and it was surprisingly good with like just picking up my actual words. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna do this. Morning at car, evening at car, Salah on time, everything on check, blah. And then Tuesday, I think what happened when the things one of the projects I had worked on went out for testing, like some issues came out. Not only that, some issues that were not in the scope at all. Like
Mhm.
this was already existing. Then someone's like, "Oh, why is this not like this?" And in a way, it's like, yeah, I get it, but I
Mhm.
just really wanted to close those things early on the week. And from Tuesday, Wednesday, I feel like I had to put in extra time. Coming Thursday, I think we're just giving updates and stand up. And I was like saying that last minute thing, because I had fixed all the other things that was raised.
Mhm.
That last minute thing, it was being proven a bit difficult because we were using an external library and you will need to dig a bit further. It's not like it's not doable, right? There's nothing that you can do. And my manager was in the general call we had. He said something like, "Oh, he doesn't think we should bother with that." And in my head, I was like, "Wow, I wish I knew this 2 days ago. Like my life would have been
Yeah.
way easier." So I think what I just learned from that is maybe some just go and float some things with him, especially because like this is a team I'm new to, and
Yeah.
just like, what do you think? Is this something, or even push back? I feel like I've held off from pushing back just because it's a new environment for me, and this was one of the things I discussed anyway. My following one to one with
Mhm.
him, and I think there was like a learning moment there for me, and inshallah, like hopefully this coming week is better. But yeah, the
Yeah. I
week
mean,
ended well. By Friday it was good,
yeah, yeah. By Friday was good.
and then Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, so Saturday, I mean Saturday. So we've mentioned, I think, a couple of times on this podcast that we have like a female group of sisterhood community that we have in London.
Yeah,
And yeah, so it's been a while since we kind of like hung out together, all of us. And we also wanted to celebrate the launch of the podcast with our friends because also they've been supportive on the journey. So we
any
decided,
excuse to party.
yeah,
Yoruba
any
women,
excuse, any excuse.
nice.
So we hosted some of our friends over, and the day was a 10/10, alhamdulillah. So
Period.
I mean, yeah. So we started with like the invite had, oh, bring your rich auntie vibe. So like
Yeah,
literally come dressed up like that rich
we need
Yoruba
you to show
auntie.
out. Yeah,
And
and
the girls understood the assignment. I mean, everybody came looking
in fact, I
mashallah.
was, I was, I was really impressed. I think
Yeah,
people understood the
people really
assignment.
understood the
Yeah,
assignment. It was really nice. Everybody came looking very nice. I mean, any opportunities to bring out the cloth we bring.
girl, winter is coming, so you better get in all the outings right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what particularly I loved about it, and I think you've also mentioned it on this podcast in one
Mm-hmm.
of our previous episode, is when we have those gatherings, like how do we structure it to be such that those gatherings will be like reminder to ourselves, help
Yeah.
ourselves to strengthen ourselves on the day,
Mm-hmm.
like things we can do better, be better at, and alhamdulillah, I think the structure of how that event went was really really
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah.
Particularly, I loved the first section, which was the anonymous section where people could ask questions
Drop
that you wouldn't
questions.
know who
Yeah.
was who. So it kind of made people open to asking
Using
questions.
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then the conversations that followed that, like people giving examples, sharing insights. Like, it was really very, very, very insightful. I mean, I really enjoyed that session. I
Yeah.
also enjoyed division board thing. That was something I kind of like thought of. I think
Yeah.
I saw a
No,
TikTok.
why are you not giving yourself credit? You handled the whole order of it.
Yeah,
I didn't even stress. I wasn't even bothered at
you were
all.
doing what you were doing food.
Yeah, I was like trying to do the actual logistics, which you
Yeah.
even helped with because when you got to mine, you were like even like setting up and even cleaning the whole
Hmm.
thing like prep. So yeah,
Yeah.
I guys shout out to Mariam. Mariam is the one that she killed it. She killed it.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, it came out even much better than how I had thought of it in my
Mhm.
head. I got inspiration from a TikTok post I saw, and I thought, okay, why not
Mm.
just do this? And yeah, it was really good. I liked how people were open to sharing what their goals are. So we
Mm-hmm.
had like a vision board, a mini vision board in split
Yeah.
into four
I really
different.
wish we had the actual boards, but next
Yeah, yeah, we can definitely do a bigger one. Yeah,
yeah.
so we had the four sections which had to do with Dean, self care,
Mm-hmm.
career development, and relationships, and like what we wanted to get better at in all of those four areas. And it
Yeah.
was really good to see like how like in fact I added some goals to my goals when I had people goals. So yeah, it was really good. And the conversations. Oh my god, yeah, the conversations were
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Well,
What were you?
what was your favorite part? I've jumped in already, so you have to go first now.
I had so many favorite parts, to be honest. Like,
Pick top two. Top two.
top two. Top two would be when one somebody was describing the perfect self care day.
Mm.
Oh, like that was really good. She described
Which one of the perfect self
the
care?
the one where it would start with brunch with friends, go for
Girl, that person who said that, I feel like she knows how to enjoy life.
yeah, I'm
She's
really taking a
she's my
playbook
spirit
from
animal when it comes to
that.
okay, I'm taking notes. Okay,
Yeah,
oh, we can do okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. Like I mean, she said brunch with girls, go
She
for
has a
dinner.
clear vision. Like
Yeah, yeah, it was really, really clear. I mean, we've been discussing we want to go for manicure and pedicure, and we've not been able to bring
you
ourselves
and I were not serious about it. We
to
need
do
to find
that.
someone who knows enjoyment and
Motivate
just
us.
follow the person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had describing that perfect self-care day, like then ending it with hugging a man. That was really okay. It
That
was really good.
girl, voila for
Mashallah
single
for no
people.
get back. That was really mashallah. Then I think the other one I liked the anonymous one as well. So
Mm-hmm.
because it was like open, you didn't know it wasn't like you would like so there was that
There was one person though that I knew
with
would
the
actually
question
go,
first.
and I said it there that I know she even actually exposed herself.
Yeah,
It
but
was
yeah,
all good. It was all fine.
yeah, the anonymity made it easy for people to ask questions, and we had a lot of conversations around how people are navigating marriage,
Mm-hmm.
like what people want to
Even
do.
career
Yeah,
question.
even
There
career
was, there
conversations.
was one someone asked about like if they're trying to get a job, what should they do?
Exactly.
And I was like, yes, girl, like let's
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Yeah, even oh yeah, then I like the section of where we asked if you could questions too. Like if
Hmm.
people could do
Like a
certain
version of the podcasting we did.
yeah,
Some of the
yeah,
answers were interesting.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was really good too. How about you? What were your highlights from
Do
event?
you know what? I think I really like how I can feel the growth
Mm, yeah.
because I know some of these people outside
Mm-hmm,
of this group,
mm-hmm.
and the person we were like 2 3 years ago, especially when it comes to the Dane,
Yeah.
I was just there like
Yeah,
taking notes together.
mashallah sis.
Mhm. So people were actually saying actionable stuff. So
Mhm.
someone was like under the Dane, they want to perform Salatu Dua
Yeah.
more.
And how they would structure their time and day to actually be able to achieve
Girl,
that. I like that.
I talked to that person a lot, like
Mm-hmm,
privately, and we've grown closer this year. And to be honest, like I can see Allah's hands, like
mm-hmm,
because I knew her before and I know her now.
mm-hmm.
And even now, something she says, I'm like, okay, yes, this is
Yeah.
actually yeah. So
Yeah.
she was talking about how for her she tries to structure her way around Salah, around everything she's doing.
Mm-hmm,
And she talked about for her how I think tahajjud isn't the easiest. So
mm-hmm.
she was like, okay, Salah to
Like
Dua is
yeah,
it's
exactly.
right there. It's during the
Look,
day.
I took notes from that. Like that was
Girl, and I was like,
very good.
yes.
Yeah.
And funny enough, like my father-in-law actually takes this
Mm.
dual person. Like sometimes when we talk, cause he's a very funny man. I really like my father-in-law. He will say, "Oh, I was in law shaking." Like it's like yes, like so. That's allowed to go and talk to me because that's not the first time I would
Mm.
hear about it, and it's like it's actually actionable because
Yeah.
even if you're at work, it's before Zur, so you can go do it, go grab,
Yeah.
then come back again and do your
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when you structure things like that, it's almost
Yeah.
impossible not to do it.
Yeah.
Um, I also really like a lot of my favorite things were around like the Dean ones, like maybe because that's just a
No, no, I mean, yeah,
yeah.
I echo what you said on the growth part. So, I
Mhm.
mean, like when we started all these gatherings, it was usually like we just talk about the randomest of things,
Banter, like
and
just and then
everything.
before you know it, the day has ended and
Yeah,
we're done. What did we
yeah,
actually do? So
yeah.
it's a different thing when you say it with your mouth that oh you want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I actually prayed about this thing. Like I think when we
Mm,
were observing Zur,
mm.
you were already around.
Yeah, yeah, we
So
did
I
zero
think it was three
together.
of us that were
Yeah.
there by the time. By the way, I'm going to come to late comment because I need to still drag my people.
I
And
mean, people were earlier this time around.
I mean, I'll still talk. Oh, child, let me land. So on this, I think on the last says Sujud, I
Mm-hmm.
was saying to Allah that the intention I have with this thing is this,
Mm,
make it easy for like because I know
mm,
there are some ones that said I want to do it this way,
mm,
but it just did not turn out that way for
mm,
them.
mhm.
So sometimes like your duas are going straight like
Yeah,
straight in. So
yeah.
one of the other things I like was when someone said enjoining good.
Ooh, I
I
really, really
tweeted
love
it this
that. I
morning
really,
because
really love that.
enjoining good you think
Mm,
is just oh yeah, encouraging other people to do good. But it's not just that, it's also when you see people doing things they're not supposed to be
mm,
doing, you're
mhm.
not endorsing it. Like I'm
Yeah,
not saying you should go and be fighting online and all, but
yeah.
you're like, mm,
This
as
thing you are doing,
as a
no.
person, as a Muslim, like
Yeah,
everything we retweet, everything we like, because
we are
some people will
accountable
say, "Oh,
for
what
it.
they like is not representative of what they actually are." And you're like,
Mm,
bro, it is baje. Like
yeah,
I'm saying Yoruba so that you guys will get. It is like you cannot be a Muslim and
mm.
everything you are showing online is at odds with
With being a Muslim.
yeah. So it's like people may not say it or anything. I don't think people should go up to people and be like, oh, you're bad, you're a bad person. No. But the very least you can do is not to put fire emojis and say fire online.
Yeah,
Yes. And joining good is not just for when you
yeah.
see people doing good. Yes, like oh mashallah,
Mm-hmm.
barakallah fi, all those things. It's like when you see what does not align with
Yeah,
Islamic values, how are you responding to it? Why
yeah.
is it you that they are saying in the front, celebrating, I don't know, things like people that
Awkward. Mm-hmm.
their wealth doesn't come from good places, for example, like 419, but because you
Yeah.
want to, by the way, 419 is like a scam Nigeria, a term
Yeah.
used to describe scams, and it's like think of it as that bad Nigerian prince
Mm-hmm.
stereotype thing. And it's like you are there, you are ailing the person, displaying this world, blowing this world because
Yeah.
what you want to gain from them. So many examples I don't want to give because honestly I'm not trying to
Yeah.
to
I
run
mean,
yeah.
the enjoying good thing. I think we've had this conversation before on some topics we want to also discuss on the
I
podcast.
had to
But
say that yesterday that actually
yeah,
really controversial topics,
yeah,
especially and they shouldn't be controversial, but I
mhm,
just think that a lot of times when people do certain things and they have the knowledge that these things are not right,
mhm.
Islamically, me included, because I don't like when people say things and it's appearing like, oh, I'm something. I'm not like
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that's
everybody,
what
nobody is
it is.
perfect. We are all
But
imperfect.
you and I both know that not be
This
me they
thing,
both see
yeah,
for the time.
yeah,
But because you are doing that thing and your fellow Muslim sister or your fellow Muslim brother says, but
why
what
are you doing
happened?
this?
What's
Yeah,
going on? Talk to me. You now drag them on Twitter, online, they don't talk
yeah,
to you, you know. Allah will ask you, to be honest. Allah
yeah,
will even say that, I put it in the heart of this person to try to talk to you or support you, but you refuse and we're all going to account for everything we've done to Allah. So for me, it's like there are some topics we've wanted to discuss, but sometimes I tell Mariam that we need to take it like come back to this, like circle back,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
those things need to be dealt with to the justice they deserve, because you
Mhm.
don't want to like
Come
softball
across as,
things.
yeah, yeah,
You also
exactly.
don't want to act like again you are too harsh on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean
No, yeah, that enjoying good was a really
it
spot
was a
on
gem.
for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Then also,
Even if I'm doing that thing, I will
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah, but like
it's not on my watch that
exactly
will allow you to
to
fall
do,
into that sin
yeah.
that I'm struggling with. So yeah.
So that was really good, and also like seeing like people sharing what they are trying to do to get better in
Mhm.
on the day was really really nice.
Yeah.
Then also on personal, like personal career development, what people are
Yeah.
trying
I
to.
think mine in the career thing was blank.
Why was that? Oh, that's really get to your point.
Girl, I don't know. Even yesterday, someone came to meet me. I was like, "Oh, she checked my LinkedIn, and wow,
Ooh.
I've done a lot." I was like, "Oh, what have I done?" Girl? Like in my head, I was like, "You know, to you, it's just your life, like you
Yeah,
know."
yeah, but to
But then I was
somebody,
like, maybe my background actually looks good in some
yeah,
way,
yeah.
you know?
Honestly, I think again, this is something I usually hear, and I'm also trying to practice it more. Is to
Yeah,
be kind to yourself, like
yeah,
to actually give yourself credit for
yeah.
what you've
So
achieved.
part of it being kind to myself is why my career thing was blank, because I think I'm in the phase where a lot has happened to me second half of the year.
Hmm.
And even in the first half of the year, I was really gunning for a lot of things. And I just had to calm down like this last 3 months. And may Allah make it easy. As long as we're alive, never say never.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
wake
yeah.
up tomorrow now and say another goal,
I
here we
know.
go again.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but for now, I'm chill, I'm good. I'll always try to, be excellent at whatever it is I'm doing, but I'm allowed to not make it my entire personality or my
Yeah.
entire life. Yeah.
So all in all, the event was a 10
It
over
was amazing.
10. The
It
vibes
was
were
amazing.
good. Everybody came looking sweet. The
Mm-hmm.
food was nice. The conversations were spot on. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
Alhamdulillah.
we said 1 o'clock and people started showing up. I'll still
No,
say my
I
own.
mean, this is I'm going to say the truth. This is actually better than any other gathering. Like at
Yes, I
least
feel like it was
it,
because you kept sending
yeah,
reminders.
because I kept sending
Oh,
reminders.
girls, let us do better. Same to myself because I'm actually one of the late comers to the
Exactly.
gathering. So
Point at
next
yourself.
one, I'm going to make sure that before they drag me, that I drag them, which I'm there early.
Yeah, and I think we should also try to do this frequently. Like,
Yeah, it shouldn't
shouldn't
be
wait
like
too
6 months
long
exactly.
before we do. So, inshallah, we'll definitely plan something
Yeah. Are we
soon.
some
Yeah,
to
yeah.
come random?
Yeah, so to just wrap up on the event, and for our listeners, if you also want to do the exercise, particularly the mini vision board. So to just
Yeah.
summarize how that went, we, like I said, we had 4 different areas, and we wrote down goals that we wanted to achieve in those areas. So if you want, you could share with us in the comment section. You could share with us via DM or email, or you could also have like a friend to be an accountability partner for that. That would help you to also so seeing those goals from another person's lens on how you can achieve them and how they would hold you accountable to achieving them. May Almighty Allah continue to make it easy for us and to help us to really actualize those goals. So for today's episode, it's also linked to or the event we'll be talking about. We want to discuss sisterhood.
Yes.
Like
I
this,
mean, it's only fitting that
yeah,
after
that we
a
discuss
full day of sisterhood yesterday, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. So how to build a supportive sisterhood and strengthen that bonds among Muslim women.
Mhm.
So to kick off, what do you think sisterhood means in personal sense, spiritual sense, communal sense? I think we use Muslim sisters a lot. So like
Muslim sisters,
Muslim sisters, yeah, especially in school,
like
MSSN.
religious context.
Yeah, yeah,
I
like
don't know. I don't know where that
I
originated from.
don't I have no
It's just always a thing of brothers,
brothers and sisters.
sister.
So
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think sisterhood means?
I mean, does it even need a definition?
Yeah.
It's to me, it's like it's just that sense of, okay, these are my girls, these are my people. I feel safe enough to go to them and talk
Mhm.
to them about things. I can lean on them for support. These are people are also sure of, because I feel like a lot of times it gets one-sided. People will say, oh, they are always there for me. What have you
Mm,
done?
mm,
Yourself, what have
mhm,
you done for them? And it's based on mutual, and like everyone has to be, maybe not equally, but everyone has to be dedicated to maintaining that thing, that no,
mhm.
this is my person. And it sounds cliche, but some friendships, because we've talked about friendships before,
Yeah,
they've truly transcended
into
like
sisterhood.
just being friends. Like these are people that they're almost like blood to you. So it's like that mutual respect, mutual commitment to what you have in safe space as well. Like a sisterhood is a safe space,
Mhm.
and truly, truly just pushing each other to always do or be the best version of yourself. Like
Yeah.
that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, so we, like you said, we've talked about friendships, and I feel like there are some friendships that would definitely translate into like deeper
Mm-hmm.
connections and
They
eventually
are not just friends, yeah.
yeah. I mean, for someone like me that I am the only girl in my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do I get that sense of like people that know what I'm going through as a woman?
Yeah,
So that sisterhood would afford me the opportunity to have
yeah.
that
I have
yeah.
a question.
Okay.
Why do you think that? Because from what I've seen, and it feels like women tend to make friends easier,
Mm,
and then the depth of it is very deep. Like,
mm.
so what do you think? Why do you think that happens?
Like why women are able to have that deep.
Form bonds, and then the bonds just go very deep. Like,
Yeah, so I think for women, there's the bit of when we love complete.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. Then
Controversy.
there's also the bit of there are just so much complexities and layers to being a woman that you just have to talk to somebody. And
And you
talking
feel like it's easier for a fellow woman to
yeah, exactly. Talk to a
understand.
fellow woman. Yeah.
Mm,
Like why is this thing coming out of my head? Why am I feeling
mm,
particular ways? This how I
mm.
mean the very first time I knew something called menstrual cramps because alhamdulillah I don't have menstrual cramps when I'm menstruating.
Lots
But
to
when I saw somebody like having cramps, I'm like, what? So
what?
that's
Yeah.
what I for yeah, like this is
Mhm.
what somebody else is going through. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that is I think why women hide
It goes deep.
goes
Hmm.
yeah, they are just so many layers of things and complexities that you can connect and relate on. So yeah, it
Yeah. I think we talked about it yesterday, that the more shared context you have with someone,
mm-hmm.
so the random alpha, what's up?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even during the week, I think you and I, we were chatting, and
Mhm.
that's when I knew that you also had a very tough week. Oh, you
Yeah.
also had a tough week. So that shared context over time, at least that's the theory I have, is it
Mhm.
just makes for a deeper connection. It's like when you talk to someone almost all the time, when
Mhm.
you are seeking advice from them, you're giving them advice, like
Mhm.
there's no way, except you secretly hate each other, which honestly makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way you won't have a much more deeper connection than just surface level.
Yeah. So then there's also the bit of even in the context of the deen and how you're trying to be better as a Muslim.
Yeah,
There's apart from probably your husband and maybe the women in your the men in your family,
family. Yeah.
there's little to what you would probably want to share with a non-mahram in terms of what you're
Mm,
going through.
mm, mm,
But like having that Muslim women community of people
mm-hmm.
that are even probably more knowledgeable than you,
Than
they
you.
understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like look at Dr. Shaker,
Mm,
it's like having she's a woman, she understands what it takes to be a woman. So if you have
yeah.
questions in the religion on navigating things on
Mm-hmm.
about being a woman,
To be
that
able
kind of
to
person,
explain to you
yeah,
from a viewpoints that will make it easier to digest. Or, okay,
exactly that a man would not. So yeah,
yeah.
that's really that's
Honestly, sisterhood is amazing, and
amazing.
I, I, I always feel sad for. I've heard some women talk about how they don't make friends with women
Mm-hmm,
easily, or
mm-hmm,
people are always beefing them or something like that.
mm.
Honestly, girls, we need to do some, or ladies, because we're not, but ladies here, we need to do some self introspection,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, you can't be falling out with everybody, and if you say you don't have girlfriends, I'm looking at you sideways
Mhm.
because it's like, how, like you're missing out on all this good stuff. So
Yeah.
fix up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you said, it's that,
Even
like
if it's
that.
just one person.
Yeah, yeah. That community is like just that safe haven that you could have.
Yeah.
So how what makes sisterhood truly supportive? So for me, I think is that, like I've mentioned, is that knowing I'm going through something and this person is also most likely going through the same thing.
Mhm.
Like we can relate on whatever it is we are going through. So
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it a support system, sort of, because this person understands what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Then it
I
also
will be controversial, yeah. So like
okay. What's your
things that
controversy?
there's some things that my friends, have told me and I'm like,
Why,
like
why tell you?
not like why are you telling me, more like you are in the wrong here or I don't agree with them
Oh,
or I actually don't understand fully.
mm,
That's why when people say things to me sometimes I ask more questions to probe to get their frame of mind because maybe the kind of person I am, I don't get that. I don't get why you think that way.
mm-hmm,
And one of the examples I would I'll put out there is like conflict with other people. So sometimes when people are in conflict with maybe a third party
mm-hmm.
and they tell me what they did and you know everything that happened, in my head I can be like, this thing is not this deep.
Oh, okay.
But I cannot say that to my friend. Like I can't
Mm-hmm.
say that to my sister. I have to understand, okay, what's going on in
Well,
your
yeah.
own.
Why you pain about this thing?
Exactly. Okay, I see why you might think. In my head, me, I don't agree. And sometimes I even say it upfront, like, look, I don't know why this is so big, but I see where you're coming from. And, your feelings are valid. So for me, it's even in sometimes I don't get it, but I'm not going to put you down as my friend, as my sister. I'm going to support you. As long as you're not doing what is haram, by the way. Like I said earlier, even if I have the same exact struggle, I'm not going to pat you
You've
on the head
done
and say,
it.
oh yes, let's wallow in this
Mm-hmm,
haramity together.
mm-hmm,
No, we'll be dragging ourselves to it, right, guys? So for me, it's like even when I don't get it, even when I don't fully understand, I really try to see their frame of mind. And I really try to always say, let us pull each other up towards the right thing or
mm-hmm,
even just being better versions of ourselves. So like if I see someone is even struggling with confidence on, oh, should I do this thing? Should I apply for this thing or not? I'm like, I think you should. Okay, I'm
mm-hmm,
even going to like showing up in that way. And I think that just opens up another level of, oh, it's not just, oh, you're coming to gist with me about, I don't know, when you're always having issues or something.
mm-hmm.
Also, when the good stuff happens, or when you're like, oh, should I apply for this opportunity or not? Yeah, yes, let's go. Let's push each other. Let's go. You get that kind of thing. So I think being able to show up fully in all the different versions of
Mm-hmm.
yourself, in all the different aspects of yourself, it just makes it like, a much, much better experience.
Yeah, yeah. So of that you just said, how does one recognize that you're in a healthy and empowering circle of friends? Like, how do I
First
know?
of all, that there is ease, right?
There's
It
no.
might not be all the time, oh. There
Mm-hmm.
might be time when there's tension that,
Yeah,
I don't know what I've done to this person. This person.
yeah, yeah.
Humans are like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Only Allah has created us, the way we are. So there's ease. There's a general sense of. There's no way I can describe it more than that word.
Yeah,
And it,
I think I agree with you on this. Like, look at when we meet, like with the
Mhm.
girls, like everybody's always so excited
Your
to
chest
see
is
each
not
other.
tight. You are
Yeah,
not
it's
like,
not like,
if I
oh,
say
what do
this
I
one now,
say? Yeah,
you
exactly.
flare up on me or
Yeah,
it's ease. It's like,
yeah.
no, this is my person.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't agree with me, I feel comfortable enough to be
Mm-hmm.
myself around them. I'm supporting them. Like there's that mutuality because you can be the toxic person as well. So
Yeah.
that two-way thing of back and forth
Mm-hmm.
there is not only are they like a safe space for you, you are also a safe space for them.
Yeah. So I mean that kind of points out, like, if you're in a circle of friends and
Mm-hmm.
it is looking toxic to you, your heart is always beating when you
Eating
want to talk
fast,
to
fast, you
them.
can't really
That's
talk.
already that's
They
already
put
a red
your
flag
opinion
of
aside all the time.
yeah, yeah. That's
You
already a red
need
flag
to,
of
yeah, you need to. check.
From that, and also one of the conversations we had
Mhm.
yesterday, where someone said, oh, like, so because she really traveled from somewhere very far to make the event yesterday, and she was
Like
really
people are
happy.
showing up when
Yeah.
very fast.
She was
So
really happy. So she mentioned about, like, because she's just new in the UK, part of the struggles of building that community for herself, that sisterhood
mhm.
community. And I think we also shared like some things around that. So I
Mhm.
think first question would be, how does one create and maintain meaningful relationships, both online and offline? How do
Mhm.
you build that sisterhood, that community for yourself?
So for I think we've talked about it
Hmm.
briefly before,
Yeah.
but like for people that are around you,
Hmm.
you need to see each other. Like
Yeah.
you can't be living 15 minutes away.
And you've
I've
not
not
seen.
seen you in 3 months like that.
Yeah.
We need to do better. And I think coming here just makes it a bit harder because when you first come, you're trying to settle in. Everyone is just going to work. I always say that if you're not careful in this country, you just work, come back, resume again, weekend,
Routine
do your
life.
chores, sleep to recover, iron your clothes for the next week, back.
Yeah.
That's all. So you need to invest in like for your friends around you or for the sisterhood around you. If they invite you for things, please
Show
go.
up. Yeah.
Please
Don't
go.
be
If
the
you
person that they will invite you for the first one, you did not show,
you
second one, you
cannot
did not show.
go, say
Third time they will invite you
or
again.
because text or sorry to miss this one. Let them feel that you
Mm-hmm.
need to be present,
Yeah.
right? Except if that's not a thing you want to be a part of.
Mhm.
And it's okay to remove yourself from a sisterhood if you
Yeah.
feel it doesn't align with your values or
Yeah.
they are too strict or they do things you don't want to be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Alas, it's not by force, right? You can remove yourself. If you are not together, it's a good thing to so you always mention your Snapchat streaking.
Streaking.
I
Yeah.
didn't do that, but I feel like one of the things I try to do, if I have more time, I can check some people's status. Like I literally search them up because there are too many people
Many people.
and comment on, hey, like
Hmm.
ah, I think this
And
looks
then conversations will start
it
from there.
just flows from there,
Hmm.
right? So I think for someone like me, it's pretty easy for me to even detect when the energy is not.
Mm.
It's only just a case of do I want to engage with this at this time? Because honestly, there are some times where I just don't want to engage in conflict, and I'm like, when
Okay.
it's time, we'll talk about it. I
Yeah.
used to be very confrontational, and I don't know. Like I said, it's been a lot this year. Am I engaging? No. I digress. Coming back, it's like if it's an online thing, you need to just check in on them. In fact, if you can call, I know it's not scalable because most of us have tons of friends
Hmm.
to tons of people we refer to as sisters. So it might not be regular, like oh every 2 weeks, but certainly you can try to call your friends that are far away once a month, and in between you do that sort of like oh I see your status, oh how far with this thing, say oh are you like just that back and forth. And I think most people, at least the people that feel the same way, they would usually reciprocate in some way that I
Hmm.
didn't even hear from this babe yesterday or day before yesterday. I'll give you an example. There's someone we talk almost every day. And during the week when I was having this difficult, like this thing that someone just added to this scope.
Hmm.
So I think she texted me in the morning. I didn't respond. That was just because I was in it. Like I wasn't really online. She tried to call me. Maybe I didn't pick. She called my husband straight up that I didn't see what's wrong with
Yeah.
Anifah. Or like, so I had to like, I'm so sorry. I went to pick on my phone. I saw that she had called. So I can imagine how worried she
She
was
would
at that
have
time that
been. Yeah.
this is someone I talk to every day. So if your own is even like 2 weeks, if that person doesn't hear from you, they're like, what's going on? That kind of thing. Like, let me reach out to this person. And not just because of that. That thing I said earlier about shared context.
Mm.
So whether online, whether offline, consistency is very good. Like it just helps. So if you're physical, see each other, try new things together, right? So we want to go and do mani pedi, let them help us,
Yeah.
or we want to go and do a massage or I
Hmm.
don't know, copying or something. Try new experiences together. It will be like, oh, we did this together. Look at us. We're
Together.
always forever talking about remember that Umrah we went to,
Yeah.
remember that restaurant in Medina
Yeah.
that if we
We
go
were,
tomorrow, we are
we
definitely
are
going
going
there.
again.
So
Yeah.
having those shared memories, shared moments together, even those photos together, even if it never makes it online,
Mm-hmm.
guys, that's how you
Yeah,
should
memories for
say
you. Yeah.
it's there for life,
Yeah.
it's there for life. What about you? What do you think
I
holiday?
mean, you already mentioned everything basically. So, and I think I also shared yesterday on how I'm managing for most of my friends that are not close to me. So having that constant engagement with them, I
Mm-hmm,
do it via Snapchat streaking. I
mm-hmm.
also like try to reach out to friends that I've not spoken to in a while. That's for the online part. For the ones that are far away from me. For the offline one, yeah, I think I'm really, really making effort towards like visiting friends in their houses, like keeping up with them. I mean, the other day on the train when I sent you the voice note of the guy that sat down next to me, and the
The
guy
person that parted next to me.
said, okay, I need to tell Alibaba. He's like,
I need to tell someone
I
what
need
my
to do.
eye I've stayed today. I hope
Yeah,
my nose has suffered. I
so
really felt your pain that day. It's so
like,
sad.
why would you do that? Like, why? And the
The
guy
person,
didn't look me in
the
the
person
eye.
couldn't help it. No, but there's no toilet on the tube.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, and there's also the bit of you have to also be intentional about it. I think I
Mm-hmm.
shared the friend that um I had mentioned I wanted to eat abula the other. Abula is like a Nigerian dish that is like
Malan.
yamala and everything. And she
I
just
don't
asked
mark
me,
in my face.
yeah, she just asked me out of the blues, that when do I work from home? I said Thursday and Fridays. And then on Thursday I see somebody
Hold
at
on.
my door and she brought it to me. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's really nice. Like
And you were not even
I was
expecting.
not
That's
even
the
expecting
icing on the
it.
cake for
Yeah,
me.
and the food was very good. Shout out to
Of
her
course.
again.
Shout, shout out to you. It's
Shout
good
out
in it.
to her again. So
Bring
yeah.
my own abula too.
So yeah, showing off for friends. I mean, that particular person is actually I like how she puts actions
I
into
think
like
he's
what
doing
it
a lot.
actions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
intentionality is top
yeah.
notch.
So
And
mhm,
I'll just say something. It's also born out of realization. I think we young people need to realize that we might be young, but anything can happen. You
mhm,
don't know. You might even travel and not live in the same place
yeah,
anymore. You might even go apart and not be as close.
mhm,
But will you always cherish that moment you had together? Absolutely. So,
yeah,
guys, we go to our jobs 100%. Why can't we apply the same to every other thing in our
mhm,
lives, right? These are your friends. These are people that are there for you more so than even a job, right? So they can fire you anytime. But the friendship breakup, self, let's not even go to that side. Like they hurt, right? They even hurt more than some types of other
yeah,
relationships. So for me, it's like you don't know how long you have to spend together. Like Yoruba people will say, Ogun Omode, 20 kids don't play for
yeah,
20 years. And
mhm,
it's true. In our case, it's true because we don't even live in Nigeria
yeah,
anymore. Like
exactly.
some of our friends are in America, some live in Canada, some
Mhm.
still in Nigeria. We're here in the UK. Even in the UK, not all of us
Are
live
in
in
the
the
same city.
so,
Yeah.
the time you have together, hold it tight, do good. In fact, that yesterday was even very funny because someone was there that knows me through my friend Iswa. I don't know this person.
Yeah.
But they were like, I was like, that's my, like, that is my person. Like,
Yeah.
you know me. If you know Isiwat, chances are you know me. If you
Yeah.
know me, chances are you've heard about Isiwat, sometimes. So it's like, even sometimes just meet mutuals where you flow better because they already know that, oh, this person talks about this other person so much. So they actually want to, like, know you and it just forms for a deeper, like, bond and everything. So honestly, the mode I'm in, I'm like in my flower mode. Like anywhere God blow me, I'm thriving.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah, so yeah, I think to just wrap it up, like a
Mm-hmm.
call to action for you. So our listeners, like if you like I think is we've already emphasized the importance of building that sisterhood and that community
Mm-hmm.
for yourself. So if you don't currently have that, try to make effort to do that.
Please
So
do.
yeah, like even if your friends are not close with you, maintain and nurture that
Mm-hmm.
online
Try,
community.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Then
will definitely find someone.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to wait for people to organize meetups. You can organize it yourself.
Yes, I
Yeah.
actually want to see more things where, like, as we grow, even in this group, like other
Somebody
people.
saying,
I know it can be a lot to like
organize.
but I
Yeah.
think I like what we did this time because you and I kind of did it
Split it.
together. So it wasn't like the burden
One
was all there.
person.
So we can
Yeah.
even do more of that of okay, if two people live close then let's
Then
join it
organize
together, pick
together.
one
Yeah.
location or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like it can't be one sided. You also can't be like invited to stuff and we ignore it or you're not talking
Yeah.
like people will not remember. Now that not make us go to that. There are really serious consequences to
Hmm.
this stuff. Like sometimes people have even died as Muslims and they are not part of a community. They are not part of.
Hmm.
Nobody knows, and
Yeah.
now that make it easy for us.
Yeah.
People miss out on stuff just
Yeah.
because they don't also know people. Like they
Yeah.
don't know. Oh, this person that said about this. You can some. I think someone was mentioning referrals yesterday.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
will I refer you if I don't know
Yeah.
you?
How she
Like,
got her
bro.
current job.
So
Yeah.
there's so many benefits to it besides even just the comfort that comes with it. Is that you
Yeah.
grow together. I mean, God willing, you don't, you know, be friends with your enemy.
Follow. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why, please, let's do our morning and evening at car.
Mhm. Yeah.
May Allah protect us. May Allah not make evil eyes look at us as well.
I mean,
Uh, but it's like you get so much benefit from a heart perspective. Your heart is cool, you're happy, you're glowing.
yeah.
Now I'm going to go to work tomorrow. Like if they ask me what
Yeah.
I did,
I'm so
I even brought
I'm so
out the
excited how I
yeah,
spent my
like
weekend.
look at this video that we made of like
Yeah.
skydiving or something like it's so cool. Um you also get benefits of you have more access to information because you just know more
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
You can do acts of worship together if they are
Yeah.
Muslims with you. You can grow together. There's something you're struggling with,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just think we are not even the most introverted of us is not like God did not create us to be like alone.
Yeah, like lone wolf. Yeah. So I mean, organize those meetups.
Organize, do
It could be
better.
book clubs. It could be
Yeah.
fitness. I mean, we went for
I think we
Pilates
can actually
together.
do a theme of a book the next time. Like, yeah. Someone
Yeah.
to the person waited a little bit after other people left was saying to me how they had this idea of even just picking a topic. I think it was
Hmm.
around Tawheed and then just like inviting
Simply.
someone who actually knows more about it,
Mm.
talk to the group about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All the questions you have just like there. And I said,
Mm.
okay, this one too
Yeah.
is a good idea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there
Yeah.
are ways to have fun
Yeah.
and
Like
not do what you're not supposed
learning while having fun as well. Like it
to. It's
doesn't
the
have to
best.
be
It's the best. It's the best.
standalone here.
Are
So
you reading any book actually this week?
I'm reading. Yes, I'm reading. So I'm reading two books. I'm reading this book.
Two
Letters.
books.
Yeah.
Woman.
No. So the reason I'm reading two books is this is hard copy. So when I
Okay.
don't take this along with me, I read the other book which is soft
Yeah.
copy on my phone. So I'm reading this book. This is Letters to a Young Muslim. Actually, a friend got it for me. I read it.
Lovely.
I read half of it in
Mm.
2021. I did not finish it for some
Why?
reason. The book is actually good, though, but I did not finish it. So now I'm
That's
actually
happening.
but now I'm actually reading it again. So it's when I'm done, I will definitely mention the book. The other one is As the Lemon Grows.
Okay.
The TikTok girls are talking about it
Is
like
it
say.
like what kind of book is as the
So I
lemon?
think it's a loud romance slash
Alarm romance genre. I will reserve my
I
opinion.
don't know yet. I
I'm
just
not
started.
there. Oh. Yeah. So I have been reading about the book is called From Shrimp to Whale and it just talks about like South Korean history,
Oh,
everything that happened, colonialism for them. How in
nice.
fact South Korea used to be very poor, even poorer than a lot of African countries and
Africa.
financial analysts then used to say that at least even African countries have like resources like
Hmm.
petrol and all. And South Korea has a lot of exports now. They
Mhm.
have like K-pop, K beauty,
Yeah.
so they've basically gone from like a shrimp to a whale. And
Hmm.
typical whales that you think of is like the US, China,
Hmm.
Japan,
Mhm.
and all of that. So I'm still in the very early chapters, but first of all, it was interesting to know the history of
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
the country went to. They even went through a kind of like partition in the middle where they
Mhm.
split from just one Korea to North and Southern Korea,
Mhm.
and even how external forces are always acting on.
Hmm.
Just if you don't have the clout as a country, like the
Hmm.
US is going to be an external force.
Yeah.
Chances are, in the past it was also the USSR, like Russia and all.
Mhm. It's
So
a
for me, the reason why I like these books is I like to understand the history of the world. I think somehow eventually I want to get into a space where I'm in position to influence or shape policies that actually lift a lot of people out of
That's
I
nice.
think I've really ignored that part, but I'm really interested in it. So I'm
Mm,
like, how have other countries done it? How have people done it? Like
mm-hmm.
people that really shook the world and um changed things. And yeah, I find that really, really interesting. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, I think that sort of thing rather, I think from shrimp to whale is a great one.
Really good.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so wrapping it up. It's going to be a new week
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Let's hope it goes well.
Yeah, up and
Journal,
grateful.
girlies,
Up
journal.
and grateful.
Yeah, up and grateful. Great, great.
Yeah. So if you want to share stories of your sisterhood or things you do with friends or things you appreciate about your friendship and sisterhood communities, please share with us. Don't forget to continue to share, subscribe, and like our
Like,
yeah,
share,
yeah,
and
share.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Bye.